used to be when you said the traditional definition of marriage, everybody was on the same page. With the high school students, with college students, some of them have never seen it. And what I mean by that is they've never even seen it on television, right? I mean, if you mark the transition from the Cosby Show to Modern Family and all the shows in between, I mean, this has been a pretty dramatic shift in the image. In our book on same-sex marriage, Sean and I make this point really clear. I mean, this issue wasn't done through debate. It was done through the imagination. And on a personal level, having seen divorce, having paid the price for it, on a popular level, seeing them on TV, and also we can't underestimate even a little bit the power of the sentimentalization of love. Almost all the love that they see and hear about is not agape. It's either eros, erotic love, or it's this kind of sentimental feeling sorts of stuff. And that isn't strong enough to sustain a marriage. And so they don't even have those sorts of categories, and that's where the gospel and the teaching of the church has to come in.
John Stonestreet is my guest. John, when we talk about marriage and we talk about this kind of battle, of course, we as Christians, I mean, I'm sure seen the portrayal of those of us who have strong beliefs about it as haters, as intolerant, as just the worst kind of things that can be said about us, and anything that you write or talk about is picked out, sort of the internet is trolled, and that is what you're known for, is your opposition to homosexuals, and when you're speaking and writing about a lot of other things. And do you think that culture will change? Do you think this is just going to get very, very old and we're going to get back to having marriages the way we've had them?
That's a great question. I mean, I think there's probably a short-term answer to that and a long-term answer. The fact of the matter is you can only control what you can control. And what we're telling folks in our book and what we're trying to tell people at Breakpoint and at Summit and the Marriage Pledge is that, the way to lose a reputation of being hateful is to earn a reputation of being loving. And if we're really honest as the church, while we, haven't been guilty of near the gay bashing that we're accused of, we probably, and I think likely, have not done the loving of the LGBT community that we should have either. And love is not a passive concept; it's an active one. And how do we reach individuals like this? Where are these ministries? I mean, I think of my friend Ricky Chalette there in Dallas, the terrific way that he has loved those in the LGBT community while not compromising. And I think we're going to have to go eyeball to eyeball with some of these folks and basically remove, kind of like the Crisis Pregnancy Center movement did for the pro-life cause, is remove this they hate women sort of thing. I mean, you just can't say that with any sort of credibility anymore because there's women across America lined up ready to give you diapers and counseling and love and a shoulder to cry on and a free Lamaze class. And we've got to figure out some of those lessons, I think. The other thing, though, that I think it's worth bringing up tonight is that in the long term, sexual freedom, and what I mean by freedom is the way we call it today, so-called freedom, the free-for-all, it basically runs out of gas. It basically drains the society of its creative energies and essentially does not last. It's unsustainable. I look at Europe this past year where 3 different parliamentarians voted to ban porn. You're starting to see weariness in the sexual revolution. And this is going to be the time then. And this is one of the reasons I'm with you. Let's keep the church in the game in every area of culture that we can stay in, because there's some brokenness and the church has the answer, and that's the gospel of Jesus Christ, which can redeem souls and renew lives, restore communities and marriages and individuals.